Welcome back to the Manc Entrepreneur YouTube channel, and in today's episode I'm sharing with you the psychology behind online auctions. Now, chances are if you're a subscriber to this channel or you've come across this video, you know exactly what I mean by online auctions. It's largely eBay, and whilst there are other websites out there such as Top Hatter and a handful of others that have been and gone, eBay is still the leading online auction platform. Even though now the majority of purchases made on eBay are buy it nows and are new products, there's nowhere else which has the same reach and the same ability that eBay does. And I sincerely hope that eBay don't get rid of their auction platform. There's been rumors of it for a long time. Obviously eBay are moving much more towards the big stores and getting the brand names on board and the buy it nows, but auctions are the one thing which Amazon do not touch, and it separates eBay from everyone else. Now, what I wanted to talk to you about today is the psychology of auctions, and this isn't necessarily just online auctions, but I'm going to be talking about it from the eBay perspective because that's what we do here. So first off, there's going to be a couple of ways we can look at auctions, one from sort of a seller's perspective, one from a buyer's perspective. Regardless, there's a few key things that we need to know about, and if you are a seller, by knowing about the buyer side as well, it's going to help you appeal to them more if you ever do need to list auctions. And just as a throwaway comment here, I would recommend that if you do sell on eBay, you should definitely roll out some auctions every now and again. If you've got some slow moving stock or stuff you want to get rid of, auctions are a fantastic way to do that, and it also can boost the visibility of the rest of your products on your store. So we will talk about that as well. So anyway, to kick things off, firstly, I want to talk to you about the timings of auctions. So this may not be massively apparent if you largely just sell buy it nows or what we call GTC or good till cancelled listings, but timings are crucially important on eBay. And this is something which I was chatting to Richard about a couple of days ago, in that I always, if I was to list something out personally, I would always aim to have the listing end on a Sunday evening around 8 o'clock ish. And that reason is very simple, because at 8 o'clock on a Sunday evening here in the UK, there's not much going on. Most people are at home preparing for Monday, and sometimes people fall into that trap of wanting to buy something for themselves to make themselves feel better. Some people get a rush or an endorphin high through purchasing something, and a lot of people turn to the platforms like eBay and Amazon in order to do that from the comfort of their own home on a Sunday night. Now, I say 8 o'clock, it's after most people have had their meal in the evening, and it's around that time where it's the chill out time before Monday starts. So for me, I always recommended getting your auctions to end around 7:30, 8 o'clock on a Sunday evening. Now, you may think that Sunday is not a great time. I would argue it is, and I've seen the stats which tell me it is in the past. It may have changed over the recent years or recent months, but I still would stand by that. I've always had great success with Sundays around in the evening time. Now, obviously, this can change wherever you are in the world. You know, if you're selling in the US, maybe like I know you guys run the NFL things on Sundays, so maybe Sundays at that time isn't great. You might have to go a little bit later. Or perhaps there's other things that you need to be aware of. Maybe Saturday is a better day for you. There is tools where you can find out which times people are largely going to be online. But again, this is something which to be aware of as a seller. You know, you want eBay to have as much traffic as possible at the time when your auction ends, because the default drop down, if people look for auctions, is ending soonest. So when people click onto auction, you want as many people as possible to see your item, and the busier that eBay is, the more likely is that someone is going to find your product and therefore either watch it, bid on it, whatever it may be. Now, as a buyer, this works fantastically well as well, because for people who don't know this, you can get some fantastic deals. I mean, I a couple of weeks ago bought a golf putter on eBay, which if I was to go and buy it in a shop would be over £100. I got it on an eBay auction which ended on, I think, a Tuesday at 3:30 in the afternoon for about £45. Huge saving. And I'd been watching these putters for a while, and most ones that ended at the weekend were going for £80-90. I stole this thing for 45 because it was ended on a weekday in the middle of the afternoon when the majority of people are in work. It's not even on dinner time. So again, at dinner hour is another good time to do it, between 12 and 1. If you have to end it at that time, that would be a good time to do it in the day. So again, timing is a crucially important, and the more you know about that as a seller, the better chance you have of increasing the amount that you're going to get for that. And next up is the gamification of it. As an auction is very much like a game. There's a lot of things that happen in an auction which we can see in gaming, which get people addicted to games. It's an interactive process. You put a bid in, you see if it's been beaten, and then the little timer goes to red if you've been beaten, and you're like, oh, and then you have to count down, and all of a sudden it's a very visual, a very interactive thing. Now what this means is people get involved, and sometimes people can forget what their limit is. Before you ever get involved in an auction, you should always have an idea of what the maximum amount is that you want to purchase this for. And as soon as it goes over that, you stop. But when we talk about e-commerce in general, and again, I've mentioned this in a previous video, in like the 4 things which can really increase conversion on websites, auctions pretty much do them all. So firstly, you have scarcity. eBay now, you can only list one item. Even if you have 5, you can only list 1 at a time for an auction until it gets to first bid. So you can't start 5 auctions at 99p each. That doesn't work. You have to. So there is that element of scarcity. This is a one-time only deal. This is a one-time only product. You have that scarcity. There can only be one person who buys this product. It becomes competitive because you can also see how many other people have bid or are watching this, and they're your competition. As a buyer, you can see, oh, it's already at £30 and 5 people have bid on it. That means 5 people want this. And then it might say 12 are watching it, which means 12 people are watching it and are likely waiting until the last hour or half an hour in order to place their bid. So again, that competitive nature kicks in that scarcity piece. You've also got social proofing. Just because you're interested in the product is fine, but when you see that 5 other people are also interested in it, that justifies that this is a good product. This is a sought after product and one that people want, which just further solidifies in your head, I need to get this product because 5 other people want it, but I want it more. And finally, urgency. Countdown timers are dynamite. This isn't that there is an ending to this. In 30 minutes, I'm either going to win this or I'm not. Someone is going to win this product. And that, again, is gamification all the way. It's urgency, scarcity, social proofing, competition. And this is what gets auctions so addictive to a lot of people. And again, you've probably been to real world auctions where you've seen people bid way over the odds for, terrible pictures of like Ryan Giggs and things, because they want it. They get involved in this like crowd mentality where I must have that. I want that more. And it's exactly the same for eBay auctions. Now, a lot of people that I speak to, a lot of business owners, are scared of eBay auctions because they're really scared of that 99p thing. And then they get sucked into putting a buy it now price on it or a reserve price on it. The reality is like with 99% of auctions, the product is going to sell for what it's worth, realistically. eBay have the audience there. They have a huge audience of millions of people which dictate that the price it sells for is the price that it's worth. Yeah, of course, there are the odd anomalies, like if you end your listing in the daytime, things might not go to plan. If you don't list it well, if you do crap title, crap images, you're not going to get the maximum amount of potential out of the end price. But I would say to anyone who is selling online, who has some product left, start experimenting with auctions. I think they're getting more and more underused. by a lot of sellers on the platform. Obviously, if you're doing sort of the antique guys still do it, the arts guys still do it, but they do bring more visibility to the rest of your thing. Like I said, when someone bids on a product from you, they can see the link to other items that you are selling. They can click the link to your store, and all of a sudden they get to find out more about who you are and what you are selling. It's a case of be everywhere. There are some people who will only buy auctions. There are some people who will only buy it nows. If you're only doing one, you're missing out a huge chunk of the other. So I would always recommend do have an auction policy in place. Obviously, there is a more risk involved that, prices may not go for what you're expecting, which is why you should always do it with either slow moving stock or returns that, are saleable or anything like that. But the psychology of eBay auctions is a powerful, powerful thing. Know your timings and know that the key gamification points are what is going to encourage people to buy. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you've got any stories about things that you have sold on eBay auctions, successes you've had or failures, let me know in the comment section down below. Or if you need any advice on how you think you should best approach this in your business, again, let me know. I'm more than happy to help out in any way I can. eBay auctions are a powerful thing, and I genuinely hope that eBay hold on to them going forward. I would like to see maybe a bit of a resurgence in eBay auctions. Yeah, who knows? I still know that they can be dynamite for your business. So with that said, if you've enjoyed this video and if you're ready and willing to get ahead and start listening to some auctions, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. There's new content every single weekday. And with that said, I'm going to leave you to enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch you as always in tomorrow's video. Thank you for watching.